So today we'll see a very simple tic tac toe game. Okay, so this I have made in Java. uh, I haven't used any game development libraries or any game engines for this. It's a very simple task, so it is done using core Java components only. So here I have created a class game home, which I have called here. Okay, so in this class what I have done is I have created a new JFrame form. See here, you can create it new JFrame form, and I have named it game home, so it's created here. So it creates a default structure for that. So what I've added here is I'm implementing an action listener. Okay, so inside this I've created a static int topo. So what it basically does is counts the number of moves here. Okay, so how many moves are done in the tic-tac-toe thing. Okay, so that is shown here, and then there's turns. Okay, so whose turn it is, player 1 or player 2, so it's a two-player game. And then I have created an array of buttons. Okay, so here I have used a multi-dimensional array of 3 by 3, so it's a matricial form. So here there is a refresh function. What it will do is it will set the number of moves to 0, and it will reiterate everything and set it to the initial positions, means there will be no X or O's marked here. Okay, and whenever the game begins, the turn is of player 1. Okay, so player 1's turn, so that will be shown as the status. Okay, so here's the constructor for this thing, turns player 1. Okay, so here we have set it's the turn of player 1. So now whenever we begin here, okay, so this here we will see that we have initialized the J button. Okay, and we have added a border to this thing, and also added a listener. This, see here, I have created an action listener, and so I'm using this here. Okay, so after that there is a init components function, which is a default function which initializes the components in the class that we have created, the JFrame form. And after that we will write status as player 1's turn. Okay, so this is a constructor. Okay, so panel, this is a panel that I have used here. Okay, so I have created a panel here only on this design part. So you can see here I've added a panel here, so that panel's name is PNL-SCN. Okay, and I've set the border color to yellow and the border size. So after that I will add all these buttons onto the panel. Okay, so now after this is done, what we have to do is write the action listener. So see this is the action listener. Okay, so here I am taking the button, I am doing get source, so I know that I have to handle only button events. Okay, so here I am typecasting them into J button, and after typecasting I am using the get text property to get the text. If it's a blank text, only then the player is allowed to make a mark X or Y. So before we make a mark X or Y, so initially we have set the turns variable, if you remember, so that turns variable will be used here. Here you can use 0 or 1 or similarly. Okay, here I have used string, okay, for player 1 and player 2, but you can also use numbers for this thing because there are only two players involved here. Okay, so here if turns dot equals player 1, then it will set the foreground to green color. Okay, the X or Y, the mark, sorry, X or 0, those marks are of the X mark is of green color and the O mark is of red color. See here, and I have set the font here. And then after I am done with player 1, so it will be the turn of the second player. So here I am writing turns is equals to player 2, and I am setting the status to player 2's turn. Okay, and after that I am incrementing the number of moves. Okay, so here topo is that number of moves, so one move is done. Okay, so if you clear this condition, then the second player would click his button, and after that it will see player 2, because here we have set the turn to player 2. Okay, So after player 2 plays it, and then there's player 1's turn. See, after player 2 has played, turns player 1. Okay, so again we increment the topo, or you can say the number of moves that we have taken. And if there is no winning condition here, okay, after all the iteration we are checking, if the topo is equals to 9, that means we have reached the end of number of moves. Okay, so all moves have been done, but there is no winner to this, so it will be shown as matched rod, and it will call the refresh function, that is the initialize function, and it will initialize everything to the blank thing. Okay, so here's the refresh function we have written here. If you remember, see this, it will set initialize everything back to blank. Okay, so here after we have done this, there is actually the test conditions to check. Okay, so this you can do easily. So there are three major parts here. Okay, so three major parts as in how actually you check for the winning condition. So you have to check for the vertical combination, horizontal combination, and the diagonal combination. Okay, so here it's easy to do this in a matrixial way. Okay, so your array starts from 0 0 and it will end at 2 2. Okay, so that is the total of 9 elements. So accordingly we have written the condition. So 0 0 is equals to x, 0 1 equals to x, and 0 2 equals to x, then player 1 wins. Similarly we have done the condition for the 0 player, or the O player, sorry. So player 2, if there is 0, or you can say the O here, then for the similar condition, then it's the player 2 wins. Okay, similarly we have done it for all the moves. Okay, so there will be like totally 6 total conditions I have written here. Okay, so vertically, horizontally, and diagonally. Okay, diagonally you will have two conditions, and vertically you will have total of a lot of conditions. It's like 18 conditions that we are checking here. We can shorten this thing. Okay, but I have written this program just like that. I haven't optimized it or anything, so that's it. Okay, and now let's see how it works. Also there is no AI for this thing. Okay, so we might add it in the next update or something. This is just a fun game. Okay, see, I placed an X here. Oh, okay, so now, okay, see, player 1 wins, refresh. Okay, so now I'll let the player 2 win. See, player 2 wins. Okay, now that's it. I've placed the source code on GitHub repository. You can copy that or use it for your projects or anything. Okay, thank you.